Hello, welcome. Hello, everyone. Hello, Noah. Hello, Limius. What does Timo think of you? He's very happy around you. Sometimes he feels sad, but most of the time he feels happy around you. So there's a lot of kind of happiness. However, it feels like everything's perfect, you know? Other than sometimes he feels that you're too perfect, maybe. Laura, just put down your question. Um, but yeah, it seems like everything's perfect. You might need to work on getting more vitamin D, being a little bit more happy, a little bit out, you know? It it's always helps. Divinely says, what are current feelings of Gemini for me? So he's struggling and waiting with something, and the hangman. So there's kind of a period of waiting for everything. So that's important. There's kind of like this feeling that everything's going to get to a certain point and he's going to be very happy. He loves that you are kind of amazing, draw him in. So it's kind of like he's waiting for something to happen. So it could be that he's waiting for the right time to ask you something. Um like a commitment question. So therefore, if you've been there for a long time, he might ask you to marry him. There's a lot of things here that seem like he's waiting for the right time to ask something, you know. Noah says Tosa, Anil, um, what is his current feelings about me? So at the moment, it feels like he's trying to get your attention, but it seems that he tries, but you seem so busy. So at the moment, he's putting all this energy into himself because he feels like he's always putting in all the effort to talk, and you just don't seem to have the time or the energy to just like take time to be with him. Um, and he would like some time. He'd like you to talk as much as he's talking because it feels like a lot of times you're getting the feelings of, of overwhelm, I feel. So LA says, my slipper for going to settle this month. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to settle this month. Feel free to save some money and just know that whoever is working on this is going to help you as best as they can, but it's not going to settle at all. Thank you so much for that donation. Anima, let me know your question. Any message from Sanyu to Pooja? It seems like a long time then, LA. Give me 1 second, Anima, and then I'll do your question. So Empress, any message? At the moment, I feel like this person has a lack of imagination that you could stir in them. They're waiting to see what you do before they kind of feel like they want to leave. So the message here feels like I want to know if you're still in love with me, whether you still have that desire. Um, because I don't know whether you are feeling the same. That's what the message I feel is coming through for you. Please for you also. Anima says, what will me and Pisces' relationship be like after I move in? Okay, so there's some saving to be involved. Feels like a messy house too. So a lot of these are practical things. There doesn't seem to be any fights and arguments. It's just the way that you guys have to deal with things. So you need to save more money. I think you guys are going to be happy and content, not listening to other people. So I feel like you're going to be happy in yourself, but there is going to be a messy house, and you'll have to save things. And Lisa, I'm going good, thank you. So it seems very well, other than some things to work on. There you go. Thank you so much for the donation. Crystal says, what months will me and Jay reconnect and communicate? It feels like very soon, so I would think this month. If it's not this month, it's next month because it feels very, very soon. Yeah, I think that you're getting a lot of what you want, and this person's reaching out to you to congratulate you. But there's a lot of like talking going on next month or even this month. It feels so close to me. Thank you for the donation. Anima again. How does Virgo feel towards down me past post breakup? I think at the moment this person views you as a distraction. There feels like he doesn't want to really talk to you, so it's kind of like he's possibly got over this connection way more than um way more than you expected. The Wheel of Fortune, trust the universe. That, yeah, he's kind of trusting the universe to go where he's going. So at the moment he probably feels like I've got over you, like, you know, there's kind of like this feeling of you're in the past, I guess. Not so much about like now, but it could be that this person never ever likes being by themselves, so they always want someone new when they break up. Mega Heart says, what is my future with partner art? Is our relationship going to end or are we going to get married? What's going to come up? You're very welcome. Thank you so much for the donation. Okay, so at the moment, Mega Heart, there seems to be that no one's working on this connection. And you're trying to get this person's attention, possibly not in the best way. It just feels like you want him to work on this, but you're kind of trying to force this connection. And maybe just instead of like making this so big, kind of, I'm good, Aldonia. How are you? Yeah, so it's kind of like this big feeling of, you know, King of Cups. Yeah, he feels like he's stable and you're the one that's unstable. So you might have to figure out how you're going to get what you want and still live with him, you know. Aldodia says, "May I ask for general?" Guys, give space in your questions just so other people can ask too. I feel like if you know what you want and you can ask for it clearly, I think you both will be together for a while, possibly for the rest of your lives. But it just feels that at the moment you're wanting something that this person can't give you. Aldonia says, "May you ask for a general?" So at the moment, thank you, Anima, for the donation yet again. I appreciate that. Thank you. So there seems to be some planning involved right now for you. There's also that you're struggling and you should walk away from something. So it's like instead of kind of going into the future with your eyes closed, you need to kind of like walk away, let it go, and kind of plan where you're going next. Because at the moment, I feel that you're blind in all of this, you know? Like you're wondering about the future, but you can't see it, you can't taste it, you know? Anima says, "What are Virgo's sister's K feelings about his actions towards our relationship?" They think that he made a stupid move. Mostly because I feel that they were trying to like communicate that if he doesn't keep on working on that, um, then you're going to leave. Sometimes you didn't do the best with your kind of part of this, but I think in general they thought that you were going to be together for a long time. That's important because that seems like a big thing. Um, and the love is so like honestly, they really loved you and thought you would be together forever. So honestly, they think that he's stupid, which probably makes sense. Aldous says, "Will there ever be?" Yeah, so you need to write down, you need to plan for your future. Do a vision board, write down some goals. Because I feel like if you work on something, Aldonia, you'll get to where you want to go. Aldous says, "Has there any relationship between me and H? Has he got any feelings or just are you having false hope?" I think at the moment, yes, you have false hope because this person is very oblivious, very blind. And I think that they're blind on purpose, so it's not just like, okay, they know that you have feelings for them, but I don't think they have feelings for you. So it's better to like give up and walk away from this, Aldonia. Lily says, "Will my ex make any action, message, or call towards me by the end of spring? We are in no contact." I think you're manifesting this in, so yes, I would definitely say yes to this. Hello, Divine Soul, how are you? So yeah, I would definitely say this time frame is correct for you. Elisa says, "May I know the plans and next actions of R towards me this month?" So I do feel yes. um, yeah. So at the moment, this person's full of imagination, but their planning is lacking. So I do feel like they've got lots of plans, like lots of ideas this month, like either taking you out to go somewhere, um bringing some kind of romance into your relationship. It just feels like there's a lot of things that this person wants to do with you this month, or this month coming. So they've got a lot of planning to do, but honestly, they love you. You're cute, and they want to do everything for you. This seems to be someone that finds you as a keeper. Laura says, "Does me and M Aries have a future together? Right now, no contact, but it's a weird feeling I get about him. Or maybe I'm overthinking. Should I stay or should I go?" I think that you should go. The cards are saying that this person's not going to change, and it might be the wisest decision. You're very welcome, Eliza. Wisest decision to see the future, and like plan for the next actions. So I see a lot more options coming in compared to him. So, hello, Karen, welcome in. So yes, move on. The cards say. Divine Soul says, "I haven't sent a message to Owen for more than 3 weeks. How is he taking it?" So he's working a lot more on his career. He still thinks about you quite often. So I do feel like this is you. Let me clarify that, but I do feel like he's thinking about you. Yeah, he's thinking about why you're not working very hard at communicating. So he does miss you. He is resolving a lot of things. So I'm gonna ask the questions because I want to know. I don't feel like there's a pull between you. Yeah, so I feel like he's kind of got over his ex, which is important because I do feel like he's not in conflict now, and there's also a known conflict about um how can I explain it? No conflicts about his business or, any money aspect anymore. It feels like there's nothing there. So he does miss you. Sarah says, "How does Jeff the DJ truly feel about me? Is he their crush?" Welcome in, Amber. I think he's made quite a lot of life choices. Divine Soul. Um, there is kind of a crush, but he is kind of, how could I explain it? Shy, Sarah. So there is a crush, and he doesn't want to be weird, he doesn't want to say hi before, you come over, talk to him, or, so yeah, do realize that you might have to kind of be more obvious. Outgib, you can, but it is, uh, you know, drawn as random, so sometimes you have to wait a little bit. Uh, TSC says, "Nora Chakma, 11th of March. Can I make my parents proud at the next month's exam. There's a lot of expectations placed on you by your parents. This feels like even if you really work very hard, Nora, you're not going to ever really measure up. Um, so instead of being scared of the sky is falling, do your best. Do honestly your best. And it seems like you'll be doing a very good job because you're very how can I explain it? I don't think that you think you're smart, but you're persistent. You are very persistent and you get things done. So I think study to the best of your ability. And honestly, if your parents are not impressed, you should be, because honestly, you'll clear that hands down, you know? Don't get too upset if you don't get like the top mark, okay? Amber says, I would like to know, will Daniel accept my offer to start over and communicate more? Ooh, that seems like very complicated. Okay. So we've got a little life story here. So let's go quickly through these cards. I honestly feel like you communicate more than this person normally. And I don't think this is going to change because you've honestly tried to date a very a quiet person. I think that he would try again, but you have to realize that this is going to be all that ever is, you know? Like, I don't think that you're going to get more communication. And if this is kind of a deal breaker, then you should kind of realize that, you know, it's not going to change who he is. Libra says, how does Ray feel about us? Okay, so this person's heart is healing, but they feel very relaxed about you, around you. So there's kind of like this feeling that they hadn't felt safe in a relationship for quite a while. And so their energy is very focused on you. And they're really focused on the future. Most of the time, it feels like this is card of like things are not. Sorry, Amber. Um, things are not as good right now, and this person's focusing on the future. But it feels that he knows that most of the time, this is his kind of thing. Is that if he is not happy, like he has to work on himself, which is great. So I feel like very relaxed, very optimistic about the future, and very focused on you. So, uh, M says, "What is our Taurus keeping from me that's going to be revealed?" That sounds like, you know, the like season ending of a soap, to be revealed. Sorry. I shouldn't put it like that, but I'm sure you had a good laugh there. Okay. There's not really that many secrets he has. He is really missing his friends. Hello, Ariana. Welcome in. He's missing his friends right now. There's kind of like this feeling of kind of not knowing like how much time he should spend with you and how much time he should spend with his friends and family, and feeling like never there's never enough time for both of you. So it could be that honestly, you guys might need to talk about, like, you know, um, where you guys are going. That's important, you know. Because, yeah, I feel like at the moment he's feeling very rushed between you both. But that's the only, like, you know, secret. Emgol says, please, Pendulum, what month will my ex and I talk again? I hope soon. Okay, what month? So it seems like in 2 months from now, you will talk to each other. I don't feel like this is going to be as big of a contact as you would like, you know? So, Moonlight says, what is the person on my mind feeling and thinking about me? Hmm. Honestly, there's very positive cards here. So this person wants to stay with you. They don't want to like move. They don't want to. So they kind of committed to you already in some way. Not. It's probably even subconscious. You're very welcome. They find you cute and adorable, and they do find you funny and maybe a little bit quirky. So, you know. Ace of Swords, they find your bluntness or honesty a little bit off putting, and it might just be that you need to tone down a little bit more so you don't come across as being impolite or maybe a little bit rude. But I think this is refreshing too, so they don't mind it so much, but sometimes you need to kind of figure out the line between your bluntness. So there you go. Lovely Lovey says, may I have a general 3 months reading with a focus on romance and money? You can, of course, you can. Okay, romance and money. So it seems like at the moment you're fated to walk the path of the next 3 months with kind of like what makes you happy. So I don't think if you're single that there's someone coming in for you. If you're in a relationship, it's solely focusing on yourself. So there's kind of like giving up society's rules and like focusing on what will make you happy, not really giving a beep about what anybody else is like thinking that you should culturally or sociologically do. So you're not part of the society fabric. You're going to be doing your own thing. Ace of Pentacles, there seems to be an offer of new money on the table. So there's kind of like this new offer coming in for you, you know? This is important because a lot of times with this you will know what it is, so you should say yes when you get it. Wheel of Fortune, trust the universe that you're guided where you need to go. So sometimes you might feel sad for the next 3 months that things are not working out the way you expect them to be. But if you follow your intuition and you just trust the universe that you're getting something better, you will get something better. But at the end of the day, doubting where you're going is not going to get you anywhere. So, yeah, just focus on trust the intuition and trust that the universe is bringing you towards what you want. Hello, Baran. How are you? Baran says, my ex is another relationship now. Why can't he forget me? We can feel when we're stuck in a relationship. He feels this mental kind of feeling of like, I can't be in this. He feels mentally stuck in this relationship that he's in already. He's also, this feels like he tried to enter this early so he could forget about you, because there seems like he doesn't want to have kids. He doesn't want to have a family with this person, and his imagination is like, they don't stir his imagination or feelings. So it seems like he's scared of being in this relationship and he wants to be more with you. This is kind of this feeling that, you know, what's going to happen? Okay, well, you know. So sometimes uh this is why people can't forget us, is because they compare their relationship that they're in with the one that they had with us. M says, what is our Taurus keeping from me and what's next in our love life? So I don't feel like there's a lot of secrets, other than at the moment his life doesn't feel as great. So he needs to more focus on, instead of thinking about the future, improving what's in front of him. Ace of Wands, I like, honestly, I feel like this is achievement, and I feel like this person's really sturdy. So if you're in their like life, they don't consider you leaving. They don't see it not happening, that you guys continue on having the rest of your life together. So I feel like you get what you want and this person gets what they want in this relationship. So I do feel like two very strong individual forces. So I don't see you guys melding as a couple. I feel like you're very different um together, you know. Had a bacterial infection because you stopped from 2 months now. Is it permanent or will they come back? They will come back. There seems to be something about working on your diet or uh taking the time to work through what foods are not helping you with your hypothyroidism, but in general, everything's going to come back to normal. Okay? What's your question, Kainat? What's next in your love life? I feel like you guys are going to continue on. So I feel like if you're not married, you're going to be married in the future, Sarah, is that a question? Flower Beauty says, what is his current thoughts and intentions towards me? You were chatting in the wrong chat. Now we know where you are. It's okay. We can come and bring you flowers. It's all good. What Okay, so what is his current thoughts and intentions towards you? So, honestly, you're amazing. Like, this person has never imagined something, um, like, imagine being with someone that is so full of life, you know, so full of energy. That just radiates so much that this person doesn't know what to imagine. Like, they can't imagine anything more because you're so filling. So, Knight of Cups in reverse, this person's getting out of their head. So they're thinking everything on the table is just amazing. You're so amazing that they can't imagine anything else. They're kind of blown away by how amazing you are. You posted, let me double check. Kyanat, welcome in. What is Chav's feelings towards me? You do realize in the UK, a Chav is someone. I know that it's probably his name. Oh, her name. Both female, love her a lot. We've been through not much communication recently. I can see that you've been both busy. I do feel like this is coming, you know, that you're going to be together in the future, as in, like, you'll both be back into each other's lives. Some good things are coming in for both of you. It seems like a lot of things that are going to be achieved. However, I do feel like some of Chav's achievements might make you feel upset, or but I think that you need to work on a little bit less on, like, your bluntness, or just celebrate their achievements as much as yours. But I feel like they miss you. um they want you to spend more time with them. Yeah, I think honestly they miss you as much as you miss them. I think that they're scared that uh from this, I feel like if they tell you their good news, like, you would act upset in their mind. So a lot of times that's hard for them. Jana says, how does Jaya see me as a person? Has anyone seen Jean? No, I haven't seen Jean yet. Yeah, so don't worry. She's just scared of telling you good news because she thinks that you would, you know. Um, so how does Jaya see you as a person? A lot of times they feel like you're never listening, like you're always kind of staring off into the distance, thinking about life, instead of really being very present. They also see you being very shy, or, anxious. I feel like maybe socially awkward. Not awkward, but socially anxious, I feel. And so therefore they wonder if you're okay. And then you try to be very overconfident. So, like, it's either quiet, or you're either loud or either quiet. It's funny. Um yeah, I don't think that they tend to be, very upset about things, you know. I think they find you adorable. Because they don't struggle as much as you when it comes to people. So I feel like they think it's so cute. Some says, why does ex Javid still check my Instagram account and sometimes he messages me with a fake account? He has a fiance. Oh, I'm glad that you're not with him then. And I don't answer him at all. I think he naturally has a weakness for pretty women, or, in general. Yeah, I feel like he just is a weak person. And Emperor, he's trying to slowly come back into your life and trying to, like, be interested in you. I feel, weirdly enough, this person feels like they can get what they want and, you know, like eat their cake and have it too. And I think this is not good for them and it's not good for you. But I feel like if they're not, why? He's seeing if you still have feelings for him. And would you, like, do stuff about that? Please, guys, take time to post your question just so everybody can get in on the thing. But yeah, I feel like, he wants you to be, Biswit, I haven't seen your question. Please put your question down, because it's, whenever I get time to utter yours and I can see it. Crystal Light says, is Redda's current feelings and intentions towards me? So the tower, there seems like there's been a period that your relationship has fallen down with this person. There's also this feeling that there's a life choice to be made specially for you. So it's like, at the moment, I think that you have the power of this relationship. And whether you like it or not, this person's thinking of leaving unless you make a life choice. You know, intentions towards you, like, you're part of their little world and they brought you in, but they're not very good at continuing a relationship or putting the foundation down, okay? Biswitchit says, when will I get a job? Okay, so at the moment, I feel like this has taken you a very long time. You're very welcome, Crystal and Light. This has been a very long process of trying to find this job, to the point that you're really feeling that you're not competent in a lot of things. And the justice in reverse card, you're taking your anger out on yourself. You're kind of trying to destroy yourself in the hopes that it makes you feel better when it won't. Um, the thing that you need to figure out is, like, how you're going to go from here, because at the moment, it's getting very hard for you. Thank you so much for the member for 2 months, Divine Soul. Thank you so much. Um, but you're going to get this job soon. Just keep. I feel like it's going to be this month. Just keep on being very positive. And I do feel like you're going to get what you want from this, you know, instead of like, oh no, I don't know what it is. Elisa, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Will notary ask for permission to sell this house or not? Um, yes, I think so. There's kind of like this feeling that they have to ask you, but it's more like a informal thing. So I feel like this month, so there's like 3 weeks until the end of the month. So I don't feel like you need to wait that long for your job. Elisa says, question 2, please. Do you see R and A relationship ended already and the current status? Cards are giving me a very confusing vibe. And it could be that, yeah, like this is over. I'm gonna ask the pendulum, but I feel like, yes, that's true. Yeah, I feel like this is over. I feel like one of them's moved out or moved on, and so therefore they're in the process of kind of separating everything and, getting rid of some things. So, I feel like they're separated already, you know? So I do feel like you have to get permission. Yes, Divine Soul. Kimberly, how does Marshall feel about me? At the moment, this weirdly enough, this person's got out of self-reflective stage into their own headspace. They don't know what they think about you. Thank you so much for the donation, Divine Soul. They don't know what they think about you, so that's a hard thing, I would feel. There's been so many shifts right now that I think that they still want this connection. They still want to help this connection, but it feels like they don't know how to proceed with this without like talking to you. Hello, Hamilton. How are you? Mocha says, what's coming in love for the next 3 months with when do you see us getting married? So, I don't feel like it's a very long time until you guys get married. Thank you so much for the donation. Azia, thank you. Yeah, so I feel like only 2 years from now, so it could be that it's next year or the year after, you know. So that's important. Uh, there is this feeling of like just continuing on. He's very focused on you. And the High Priestess, there seems to be some manifestation going on. So I feel like everything's going to be very sturdy, everything's going to be fine. And the manifestation feels like it's just going to add more richness, all of this goodness towards you. Asia says, will I get the apartment application approved? I feel like this is a no. But I think that you should try again, because at the end of the day, I feel like they say a lot no to a lot of people, and I think that you have to apply again if they say no. Um yeah, so it feels like that's the case. Um they could be that there's a feeling that you're too young or you don't have the experience of renting as much. So make sure that you have like a cosign or something like that. So if you can, and the world, yeah, I feel like if you don't get this apartment straight away, there'll be another apartment that will definitely say yes. But I think that you could just like apply again. Okay. Can a lawyer fix the issue, and can I sell the house because getting permission's not possible? I think that you might not. It's hard because I do feel like you can do this without the signature, but I think there's going to be a feeling like you might have to get a lawyer. Uh, so so either permission or a lawyer, I feel. I don't feel like there's any other way of this, you know. Because I feel like they're on the house lease or something like that. Or on the mortgage, sorry. So it might be a little bit harder. I don't know why I feel like they're part of the paperwork. And so therefore it's going to be very hard without, you know. Amora says a message from the Sister A and my guides, please. Okay. So your sister's like, there's new things coming in for you. You're very welcome, Divine Soul. There's new things coming in for you. Lots of good things coming in. The world is just amazing. So I feel like she's saying, open your eyes, like everything's amazing. Like there's such a richness of color. Thank you so much for the donation, Divine Soul. There's such a richness of color and such a richness of experience there. The devil, your guides are kind of warning you that there is this feeling that you are really. I am going well, Victoria. How are you? Um, but the thing is that they're saying you're addicted to making plans, but you don't actually work on them. So that's important. Thank you, Louisa. How are you? How soon can I sell my house and get a new one? It's gonna take a while because Honestly, I don't think that it's going to be as long as you think it is. A lawyer will cost a decent amount, but I feel like this is a flat fee. So you have to realize that it's a flat fee. They're not going to charge you anymore. It feels more like I think that they can do it for less than 500. So it's not a bad thing. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I think if you wanted to get this done, it wouldn't take that long. So there you go. LA says, why is my burn injuries, sex assault, and slip and fall case taking so long? It's been years for all of them, and right when they're about to settle, it doesn't. I think one of them's going to settle very soon. The other two are not going to. It's just because a lot of the little, and it might feel like when I say little cases, I'm not meaning that they're little to you, but there's some times where because we've had COVID and everything's been backed up already, then on top of it, it's just a lot more. So it's taken so long because it's it's just like, okay, we have a case that needs to take priority, so we're going to have to push this one back. So a lot of times this is why, but I do feel one of your claims is going to go through, and so it's not going to be as big as you think, LA. It's just going to be fine. Okay? But it's just the whole idea of the system is just broken right now. Victoria says, general for my guides, please. Oh my lord. I have hiccups. So, general from your guides, please. So, at the moment, there's going to be money coming in. It's flowing through, you know. So that's going great. The Hierophant uprights, you're getting into a feeling of knowledge. There seems to be a lot of knowledge coming through to you. So it seems like at the moment the cards are saying don't worry about money, don't worry about spirituality because these things are coming to you. But the rest of the things, just work on your own world instead of being really focused on things that are big. You know, focus on the smallest things. So that's important. Little Me says, will I be accepted by King's College University or Warwick University or Leeds University or Manchester University? I applied for all of them. I'm still confused if I have to go to UK or Europe. Aren't they all in the UK? Okay, I'm getting a little bit confused. So I'm just gonna, you're very welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you who's gonna accept you and who's not gonna accept you. So thank you so much, Divine Soul, for the donation. Okay, so Kings, yes. So you're gonna get one from Kings. There seems to be a slow acceptance to Leeds. Weirdly enough, this feels like Leeds is going to be like a slow yes. Warwick is not going to be as good. I think that they've got too many applicants in whatever course you want. And there seems to be Manchester is full too. So Elite or King's Cross, for sure. It's weird that these two feel so full. So I don't know whether it's just like those particular universities are known for the like the course you want to do. So that's important. Divine Soul says Erwin know about the Reiki healing. He goes to a psychic. What is he asking her, and what does he tell her about me? Thank you so much for the donation. You are so kind. Thank you. Okay, so what does he say about you? That a lot of times he's asking about himself. He's not really asking about you. I think he wonders about you, and sometimes it comes up, but there's not always that case. I feel like she tells him a lot about his ex, and a lot of times um there's kind of like this feeling of like, oh yes, your ex is going to come back in your life. There's also like she talks about another woman, but I don't think that she realizes it's you because he doesn't ask her in your name. So it's kind of an understanding. I think that he spends quite a lot on readings though. Yes, don't worry, XO. I will be doing yours straight after. Um, I feel like he knows that he feels different, but he doesn't know it's Reiki. So he feels good, but Uh, does Jay expect me to finally let him go and move on the way I did after giving him so many chances when we were together? I don't think that he ever expected you to kind of move on. And now that you are moving on, um, he doesn't think that you're going to leave. So it's kind of like this feeling that you'll be back when I don't think that you'll be back. So it's just like, oh yeah, so like she'll be back, you know? No, I don't think so, Divine. Ifra says, may I have a general? Yeah, I don't think so, Divine. Thank you so much for the donation. You're very welcome. Okay, right. Okay, a general. So don't focus on money too much right now, Ifra, because it feels like you're chasing it and money moves away if it's being chased. Don't worry about money and money will flow to you. Grow yourself first instead of like focusing on others. There's either a person coming in for you or your partner in your relationship is coming this person. The King of Swords, intelligent, they can be quite charming. They can be very blunt and very honest. Thank you so much for the donation. And they can be, you know, so it feels like if you're single, this person's coming in for you. If you're in a relationship, it looks like your partner is in a good place right now. Amber says, does Adrian's dad find me attractive? Yes, I think so, but this person would never admit it, or they would never. Yeah, I feel like they would never admit it, and they would never Hello, Missy. Welcome in. They would never admit it, and they also don't want to think about it, but they do find you attractive. But I think in general they would find a lot of people attractive that they would not say that they're attracted to. So that's important for them. But yes, they do find you attractive. Thank you so much for the donation. Anna J says, "What are PI's thoughts on me?" At the moment, they're not showing that they're excited, but I think that at the moment there's kind of like a winter on their mind, so they're not playing right now. They're not playful. I think that they're highly stressed at the moment, and this is contributing to their relationship that they have with you. Um, so I think that you're focusing on the smaller things, and they're focusing on the bigger picture. And they're feeling quite stressed, so you might have to give them some slack. I think that they really enjoy this relationship. It's just at the moment very hard, very frustrating for them to deal with. Okay? They still love you, or they are attracted to you. I feel like both, but at the moment I feel like a lot of this is stress, you know. Lucia says, "I know that Jan and his partner will be separated. Are they in the court and legal process now, or is it not time?" I think they're in some kind of legal process. They haven't gone to court yet. So they are in a period of dealing with other things. I think they're going to go to court soon. It's just like one of those hard things where, it's not right now. I think they're both in the decision making, so I don't think that it's going to take them that long to separate and get divorced. So, yeah, I feel like this year they're going to go to court. Missy says, "Do I have a special gift or talent I'm unaware of that I keep being told I have?" One thing the cards want to say is like, yes, you have a special gift or talent of procrastination, but I don't think that that's what you wanted to hear. I think a lot of people procrastinate, but some people have it as a fine art. What gift or talent do you have? I think that you see memories as being very multicolored. I think that you can see the world very positively when other people can't. And very diverse. There's a lot of diversity there. I'm not feeling any supernatural, supernatural kind of things. So I don't feel like you're clairaudient or, there's more like you kind of can create. It's weird because I feel like it's more like the way that you talk to people or the way you approach people. Like you can create something special that. So it's like, how can I explain it? Like making their wedding special, or making mementos of occasions for other people, you know? So that's important. But I don't think any supernatural. Amber, I did do that, and I said yes. I said yes, but he would never admit it. So did you not hear that? Sorry. You're very welcome. Do you want me to pull the cards again? Because I did do yours, Amber. I said yes, he'll never admit it though. That's okay, that's fine. That's fine. Sometimes like I try to pronounce people's names as much as possible. So, you know. Love God says, question 1, Omar's current feelings and intention towards me. This person's working hard to get your attention or working hard in general. I feel like they're a very detailed person. Instead of you see the bigger picture. Honestly, I feel like they're working very hard on this relationship. They're trying to work with the differences between you two. But sometimes I feel like have you heard the golden retriever boyfriend, or the Labrador boyfriend, the one that just like, oh look, it's a tree, it's a squirrel. He can be very much like that. He's a very smart person, but sometimes that goes out the window. I think he's adorable. I think that you should keep him. But yeah, he's working very hard on this relationship. Manifest says, has TM been thinking about me? Yes. Yes. No. So there's kind of like a yes. So he's like constantly thinking about you, and then suddenly he's thinking about like breakfast or other things in his life. So there's kind of like sometimes that feeling of like getting distracted by life. But when how do you say your name? When? Ren? I always think of Ren. I think Ren. But it's pronounced like looks different. So I'm thinking of like the little tiny birds that are in my bushes. Not that I've seen a wren in ages. Though saying that, I think that you can call a willy wagtail a wren. Asking if your hubby still loves you. I think so. Yes. But that kind of, how could I explain it? The long distance love, the love that lasts forever. So honestly, he's still like kind of like in his own kind of mind. He can shut down quite quickly, but I think he still has jokes and humor. Like he teases you a lot to show like love. Um but I feel like a lot of times like your sense of love is like negging each other, like, oh yeah, who could do the biggest fart? So Ren, it seems like a lot of things are going very well. Wheel of Fortune. I think if you really want to get that kind of like desire back, or like things that you still think are love, because I think that he's happy with how the relationship's going, but you're not happy. And it could be that you need to plan some date nights or, bring that kind of connection back. One book that I would definitely recommend to anybody that's in a long term relationship, sorry, not a long distance relationship, long term relationship, is called Mating in Captivity by Esther Perel. And it's about keeping erotic connection alive in a long term relationship. But yeah, I think that your hubby still loves you. Rouge says, "What can I contribute to humanity now? What's my talent?" Okay. Okay. So it's interesting because at the moment you're getting very bogged down, Rouge, in one particular thing. As I read, okay. Right. You should have said, okay, like the mythical Arwen from, Lord of the Rings. And I'd be like, oh, I could pronounce that. Hello, Katie. Thank you for the donation. Let me do your reading soon enough. I just need to do this one. Uh, so so this is interesting because I feel like you don't realize that, or your actions matter, Rouge. So it's kind of like you're looking at something that would change the way society views itself, or things like big things. And a lot of times you've got to realize that you've got multiple talents, but looking at one is just going to make you distracted and make you feel like you can't do anything right. When you should focus on the things that are very good for you, that you find very good. So you find it very good to, like, you can become obsessive about a task. You become very creative. Like, your creativity could be amazing. I don't know why you don't really tap into that. Yeah, it's like you could really show people through, I think, words or art something different. And before you're like, oh, well, that's not going to change society. Art does change society. Poems change society. Words on a page change society. So a lot of times, like, if you're just working on the scientific things, a lot of times people don't remember something as simple as, like, this person created, like, this antibiotics that we use to save people's lives around the world. So okay, Katie says, can you please see what is the purpose of the situation that happened with Jordan's dad today? What was the purpose of the situation that happened? That's a very interesting sentence structure, Katie. I'll go through what the cards are saying, and do realize that this might be very generalistic because for me, I don't really know everything, so sometimes it's kind of hard. There feels like Katie at the moment, like, Jordan's dad is not happy about, a lot of big things that happened. So, there seems to be some like borrowing money. Jordan's borrowed some money or something, and he's not very happy about that. Jordan's happy where he is. So it kind of feels like there's kind of this feeling of like his dad feels like he needs to know where he's going in life, and Jordan doesn't, it's weird because I feel like it was Jordan borrowing money first. So I think his dad wants him to pay him back, but Jordan's like, okay, it's weird. There's also addiction to his dad feeling like he's got to be right all the time. So it's kind of like this external pressure, you know, like I raised you, I I clothed you, so you now have to look after me. So that's a weird thing that I would definitely feel. Is like dad always feels like he has to be in control. I think Jordan's figuring out whether he wants to really stay in close contact with his dad or he wants to kind of go no contact and really kind of like, right, dad, I'll talk to you later, I'm not going to talk to you right now, kind of feeling. So honestly, I feel like they're at loggerheads because I feel Dad's in a particular weird spot that he can't retire, or there's kind of like that space between can't retire but is close to retirement, so he's not getting a job because of that, and he just feels like, right, like I'm not going to take that insecurity when he should just be like, I'm feeling that kind of insecure, right, son, can I borrow somebody off you? Because I feel like that would be less aggro, but at the moment he's feeling so insecure, it's feeling really weird for him to ask money from his son. So it's becoming this bigger thing than it really is, if that makes sense. But yeah, guys don't really talk about feelings, or it would help. But yes, thank you so much for the donation. How does Neil feel about me and the third party? There's kind of a little bit of heartbreak here. They feel like they can't do anything about it. They don't feel like they've got control over their life or their relationship right now. And Page of Pentacles, I don't feel like they're expressing exactly what they feel for that. So, Amarita, that seems to be your relationship right now, is this frustration bit where they're really not talking to you, but they also, like, this person's taking on quite a lot of heartbreak, but they're not really saying anything. They're not really doing much about this. Is there any question from that before I move on to someone else's? But yeah, it feels very cut and dry here. taking you for granted. I feel yes. Yes, I feel like that is definitely taking for granted. Sorry about that, Amarita. And Jay says, going to temple in 2 days, what does the spirit want you to pray for? Pray for your health. I think happiness. Pray for your house to be always warm. That's a weird thing to pray for, but I feel like having that ability to be not your house is always warm, but you're always comfortable. And to pray for the spirit to open your eyes to that ability to see things as they truly is, because at the moment I feel like there's so much doubt, so much. I should be, yeah, I'll be staying for another 2 hours, Karen. But there's so much doubt in yourself that you need to see clearly. So, like, even if they lift the shade off your eyes so you can see things truly as they are, because that's important. Construct says Jay's feelings towards you. Good evening. Hello. So Jay's feelings towards you. This person's wondering whether they are actually in the right relationship or they've got everything that they want. Thank you so much for the donation yet again. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um so it's kind of a hard thing for them to really figure out whether they want to stay or they go. I think a lot of times they want to explore the world, and this feeling of like they don't know whether they can do it with you, which is important. Marita says, what's going on between Neil and third party? Nothing much. I think that there is a loss of contact between Neil and his third party. So I don't feel like he's talking to his third party as much as, you think he is. You're very welcome. And there's kind of like this feeling that he knows you're very focused on him. So it's kind of like you should focus on other things as well. So that's important. But yeah, there's nothing really going on between them anymore. Or at the moment, I feel. Drigo says, did I get this new job? Thank you for the donation yet again, Amarita. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. King of Wands, the Moon. So I think that you've got this job. I think you've got this job. Um, the candidates that they had weren't as good as enough as you. I feel like the end of this week you'll get, I think tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll know. It's weird because I was thinking weekend, but I think that they're going to contact you on Friday. So tomorrow. Christine says, is there something going on with D and his daughter's mom in Belize? You're very welcome. No. I would say no to that. There seems like if she was showing attraction, he might try, but I don't think that he's willing to move to Belize. So, there you go. I would say no to that. For cards. Manasvi says, "What will happen in my love life next?" Okay, so it's very positive. Ooh. So there's new love coming in. But maybe not the one that you want. So there's kind of like two people. So there's one coming in that you might not want because they're obviously very attracted to you. But the other one that you are crushing on that doesn't seem to have the same intention, you'll want to chase. So it feels like there's kind of heartbreak on that. So you won't get your crush, but you'll get the one that really wants to be with you. So do realize, don't get so upset about it. And this person's very caring and wants to look after you, you know? So they're very caring, they're very kind. They might be a little bit older than you, or they feel a little bit more mature. But that doesn't mean that they have to be very old. It's just a little bit of an age gap there. Cassandra says, what does ALM... Hello guys, feel for me and view my character as... So sometimes you can be very pessimistic, I feel. Like, or they see you as pessimistic. You're a very generous person. It it's weird because I'm feeling like this grumpy old person or grumpy old man that, and then you're just like suddenly generous and they're like, okay, you were upset. Maybe you're just not a morning person, but it's just like that weird thing where as soon as you wake up, you just like become a nicer person after a certain time. So maybe the afternoon. But then you tend to share and you kind of are a very generous person. They see like you have more options than they do. There can be a little bit of insecurity there, but they feel like there's a lot of options. You are a very smart person, very talented person. So that's what's coming through. So in general, I feel like a very gifted person, but sometimes not so good with people is what they see. Benita Bala says, what are Gurpreet's next actions towards me? Guys, if you do have a question, please put it down because sometimes like you're like, please take my question. And because I'm looking at your question, like your statement, I can't answer your question. Whose question was I on, guys? I completely forgot. That doesn't mean that I always see it, unfortunately. Benita? Oh, okay. Thank you, Benita. Thank you guys for reminding me. Sometimes it can be hard because I'm doing two things at once and my brain doesn't always do two things at once, same time. Very good. So, what is Gurpreet's next action towards you? They seem to be seeing a bigger picture and planning future. So this is important for them, that they're really focusing on where the direction of your relationship is going. So I do feel like this is very strongly like they're planning the rest of the future with you. But it feels like you get distracted easily, or you don't care as much about the future as them. And so therefore they're kind of like, oh yeah, like, right, how is this going to happen if you're always like looking at the small things or getting distracted with the small things? So it's kind of weird because I feel like they're planning the future. And it might be that they aren't talking to you because this happened. You're very similar, so let me ask the pendulum, but it feels like you guys are coming back through for each other. The cards are saying no, that you're not coming, the pendulum says no. It's weird that you're very similar though, and that could have been what you were feeling. So yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like this person's still not over you. I can't see it, Hamter. Sorry. May I know who's coming towards me in love? When will I meet this person? I feel like the same time as you're going to meet this new person, X is coming back through for you. So you've got to realize whether this is important or not, you know? Because this X is going to be very focused on you. The world, yeah, I don't know. Like, this seems to be like at the end of this year, like New Year, so it's January. So I feel like this X is going to be coming in before this actual amazing person. King of Wands, very fiery, very passionate individual. Thank you so much, Karen. What was your question? So fiery, passionate individual, very outgoing, you know. Oh, did you put your message with the PayPal? Okay. So, is this right? Is this going to happen? Yeah, so it feels more like January next year. I know that's a long time, but I think this is because the universe wants to know whether you really want this ex back, because they're very, you know, they're very emotionally dependent on you. They can be very, they sap your energy quite a lot. So it could be just like, do you want the same again, or do you want something different? Oh, I see your question now, Hamta. You're very welcome. What is your question, Karen? Did you put your question down? My ex broke up with me even though he loved me and he's stuck in karmic now. Please tell me what is bothering him emotionally now in his life. We have no contact. Tempter. This feels like at the moment emotionally what's bothering him is that he's got a little bit of a nagging partner, and sometimes he just doesn't want to hear any talking or any kind of, he gets distracted. He's wondering whether to walk away from a lot of his life. So there's kind of like this feeling of figuring that out. So in love, it just feels like it's not so great. But in the rest of his life, it's going fine. I don't think that it's as bad as, yeah, dealing with everything else. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Uh, making beauty. D, the cancers come back with a love offer. Will this be successful or wait for a new option? No, it's not good. You're very welcome. Yeah, I think you should wait for a new option, because I feel like this person's just not gonna change. They're not gonna work on themselves, so Hello, Sebaha, how are you? Or Seba. I always say Sebaha, and it's not Sebaha. Leela says, what is the first impression of people towards me? I'm Sagittarius. Ah, interesting. I think sometimes they don't know how to, like, they try to put you in a box and you will not be contained. So a lot of times when people meet us, they have to have like a first impression of us. And sometimes that doesn't always work out so well. So that's important. So that's one of those big things that I would honestly say to you is just like, at the moment, that's a big thing. The tower, sometimes people don't like you just because they don't like you. It's okay. So some people do like you and they get drawn to your energy. Some people would just not like you, and that's okay. So there you go, Leela. If you missed out your reading, please go back in time. But yeah, it just feels like a lot of times people feel like you're weak and that you don't make decisions very easily. So it feels sometimes like you have this passive and then bite. So sometimes people feel like you're passive aggressive when you're not. Just when you speak up and make your mind known, then it feels very aggressive because you tend to be very submissive, or people see that from you. C Stain says general and my higher message. So the sun seems like happiness. So honestly, it feels like there's a radiating energy for you. Everything is going great. So that's amazing. That's a really big thing. The cards are saying like get some more vitamin D, get some more exercise, and eat more fish. If you wanted some spiritual things, Sea Saint. But yeah, they're saying get more of those things. Your life is going to be very full in the future, so I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in for you. You're very welcome, Leela. And yeah, it seems like everything's going to be very great for the rest of the year. It doesn't seem like there's many hiccups this year. Ariana says, which Chipotle will I get a job at? The one at the plaza or the one near Starbucks? I think. Oh, right. I think the one near the Chipotle, but you need to be more. You need to plan more. But the one near Starbucks, no. So, would say the one near Chipotle for you. Luna Ray says, incoming energies for Terry and I. Okay. Oh, yeah, one near the plaza, sorry. Yeah, the plaza one, yes. Sorry. Do. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit tired, so can I know who I was on? Who was I on, guys? I'm sorry. I don't usually get very distracted, but I'm feeling tired tonight, so. Oh, Luna, thank you. Luna, thank you so much. Okay. So, incoming energies for Terry and you. So, it feels like Terry at the moment's going to be very stressed about money. So, they'll be working a lot more on the money than, than you want them to be. That you want them to spend a lot more time with you. However, the cards say work on yourself first, and then they'll start not having to stress about money so much in the future. So it's just at the moment spend more time with yourself and just like, you know, not get too focused on, you know, on their like they're doing this because they care about you and they want you to not worry like they do, but it can feel very, hard for you right now. Okay, Karen. Ariana says, "Would I like the pay and the co-workers more at KFC than Chipotle?" I think that you would like the boss more at KFC than Chipotle. I feel like at Chipotle you'll feel very like the odd one out or the one like the oldest one there. So that's a big thing. At KFC you will have to be more trained than Chipotle, but yeah. I feel like you'll fit more in KFC than Chipotle. Tosa, can I make my parents feel proud by pursuing singing or anything else as my career? I think they'll never be really happy with anything that you do. It feels like they gave up their dreams to have you or, have a family. And so a lot of times they have no imagination when it comes to you. So it's the case with that. So I don't think, unfortunately, they're going to be very, you know, happy with most of the things that you do. I'm sorry. Pride and Prejudice says, why do most people treat me like I'm stupid? No respect. Is there something I can do to fix it now? Yeah, walk away from a lot of the things that they're doing. So instead of trying to impress them, just don't. don't worry about them. Queen of Pentacles. You know you're not stupid. And can I say Pride and Prejudice? One thing that I've heard so much from people that start their own businesses and make money. Like they make like lots of money. So they're like multi-millionaires. They're always like, I was not smart. I struggled at school. I didn't get good grades. I didn't do the things that people wanted me to. And they did things very differently. Now, if you do things very differently, people will like, you gotta be stupid because, everybody does it this way. And that's kind of a big thing. And Pride and Prejudice, just take time to get out of your headspace. Sometimes when we're in our own headspace, we start reacting to things in a different way. So it's really hard for us to deal with things in a weird way. So at the moment, I feel like you're reacting to a reaction that you think they're already reacting to. So if I'm hyper vigilant that everyone around me might think I'm stupid, then I'm already going to react in a way that, everybody. And sometimes we can even do stupid things because we think other people around us think we're stupid. So it's okay for us to do stupid things. So, in general, kind of take a step back and watch your interaction with people. Like, instead of really interacting, you should just like watch what you're doing when you're interacting with people and going, oh, I see, this is how I interact. And it could just be your hair color, which is a weird thing to say. But, people change, see people and perceive people by the way they dress and their hair color. But honestly, I feel like most of the big thing is you're different and you think differently. And a lot of times, this is going to be enough for people to judge you as being stupid when you're not. Samantha says, whenever I ask about the first letter of my future husband, J comes out, but the first letter of my ex's name is J. I wonder if who is J? Does J really mean him? Okay. No, so J is not your ex. This J, I'm feeling like a Jeffrey or a Jeremy or even a Jacob, but they're like, yeah, a lot longer word names. So I feel like someone that's got. It's weird because I'm feeling a little bit more like a biblical name, which is weird because I normally don't feel that called to say that. But he got raised by religious parents. He is atheist. He doesn't practice. I don't feel like he's Christian. It doesn't feel like that. But it feels like he's a university lecturer or or does research, so a scientist of some kind. Um has written at least one book. That's what I feel. He's given up and walked away from a lot of his life that so he probably doesn't speak to his parents anymore and has a small circle of friends. There seems to be this feeling that he was very distracted earlier, so I feel like he's a little bit older. Maybe a bachelor for a lot of his dating life. So it'd be really interesting because I feel like he's quite charming and you'll really like him, but it does take him a lot of time to really like open up, you know. Debia says, is my ex F going through a separation or divorce with his spouse? So I hope that answered your question. But yeah, I feel like he's very charming. Ace of Swords. I feel like they're trying to make it work, but I don't think it's going to work. So there was kind of like a separation, but they're kind of taking a trial period to see if it is going to work. It's not going to work because they're both on so different kind of levels of space or time, you know? So that's a big thing that I would say. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be in a separation very soon. Ariana Aldonia, sorry. I called you Ariana, sorry. Will I travel towards England in autumn? Will I get the visa? Yes. Yes to all of this. So yes. uh it seems a little bit of a struggle, but you will get it for sure. Megan says, should I give Vincent a chance and get to know him, or am I wasting my time? You're very welcome. Hmm. I feel like You sometimes date people that are damaged, and this might be not your fault. You just seem like they seem to understand you, but most of the time it feels like there's a lot of difference here between you both. That's big difference. Gita, of course you can ask a question, but it is chosen at random, so do realize that it does take a while. Um so yeah, it feels like there's I would honestly say, babe, try someone else, because I feel like this person's not ready to heal. Hello, Lousy. Little Me says, will I find a job in UK after I graduate from the university there? I feel like if you're in control and you work on your finances, so it's more like if you put in a lot of work to kind of like network and really put the time into knowing people, then yes, you will get a job here. It's going to be a little bit more expensive to stay here, so you have to work on your finances as well. But if you see the bigger picture instead of focusing on the small things, I think that you will definitely get a job here after you graduate. Cosette says, what does Mr. December think I feel for him, and what is his message for me? You're very welcome. So, what does he think you feel for him? He thinks that you feel that he's a safe harbor, that you are very loving, very kind, you know? So that's important for him. Um that's a big deal. What is his message to you? I'm sorry that I'm still going through a lot. My heart is healing, or I just can't talk about everything to you. I'm focusing on how to deal with emotions when they come up, so I don't get angry or I don't get upset with everybody. Okay? So that's your thing. Manasfi says, should I unblock Sanrish? San Saranish? I don't know how to say that. Yes, you should unblock this person. So yes to that. Cosette, you're very welcome. And she's fluid to art. Sammy in Australia, I'm in the USA, but we have strong feelings for each other. But I need to know if he's really serious about me, and will we eventually be together? Hello, Pooja. How are you? Yeah, I feel like at the moment there's kind of a big gap. Like, honestly, this person doesn't see anybody else but you. Like, there's no other option. But there's kind of like this feeling that the mental struggle is that you guys are so, you're in different places. That's a big thing. And the other thing is that I do see a happy end where I feel like you moved to Australia, not the other way round, which is good. You're very welcome, lovely, lovely. But yeah, it feels like you travel and you stay with them instead of them moving to the USA. S says, what is Pratyaksha's feelings about me? She's a Pisces and I'm a Sag. You're very welcome. She definitely loves you. Sometimes your emotions can be very overwhelming. I don't know whether you realize that you are a very feeling person, you know? So that's a big thing that she can feel very like you have too many emotions. She's feeling like there's not a lot that you are adding to this, but I think at the moment you might be in this kind of state where you're not feeling that the relationship's going very well, so you're kind of withdrawing your love, but you're also kind of bombarding her with emotion. So take time to spend time with friends and family so you're feeling more balanced. Did Bisway get his karma back for what he did to you? I feel like no, or it has happened in the past quite a while ago that it doesn't register now. But I do feel like a lot of his friends are not speaking to him, so that could be why like the karma is a thing. She does have a crush on you. Yes, S. Very Doll says current feelings of Zarab for Xenia. No, S, it's like your emotions are bombarding her. Uh, so current feelings for Zarab for Xenia is like this amazing amount of growth. So I think that there's prosperity and abundance, especially coming in for you at home, for both of you. There seems to be this feeling that you guys are over, like, starts the relationship. So it feels a little bit like there's something lacking. And I think one of you is deciding whether you really want this connection or not. So I feel overall, yes, this is a good thing because it does mean that you guys are going to either work towards something, hi B, or, or like walk away from it, you know? So that's important. So there you go, Fairy Doll. Um, Lousy Elise says, what does my ex feel when he spies on me on Instagram? No contact for a long time. He does feel very addicted to watching. There's a little bit of a voyeuristic quality about him. He wants to know how you're doing. Also, your life seems to be very fantastic, and he gets very jealous about like how good your life looks. And you don't seem to care like about him or things like that. So that's why he tends to spy on you on Instagram. Um, Ren Arwen, just going to call you Arwen. Um, because that's how I'm going to be able to pronounce your name. I'm asking if I'll be able to travel abroad with my uh, kiddos for next year. Okay, so there seems to be like a feeling of holding off on this because it always feels like too much. Honestly, I would say to you is like focus on like now and kind of put a plan in place. Like, how can I explain this? Aaron, it seems like you need to. There was a budget thing that I saw, like some person saving like little bits of money. So she like had this like I think it's like it's like a challenge, and so you put away a certain amount of money every single time. Yeah, so you save like $1,000 in like 30 days or something, and so you like tick off things. So if I show you like that, like it's like this little tiny um like piece of paper, and you like cross things off until you saved up money. And I think that's what the cards are saying is like focus on now instead of focusing on we can't do it in the future. Focus on now and save that money up. Hangman, focus on where you want to go instead of like, oh, I can't. I feel like this is going to be a very budget holiday. So it might not have like everything, and it might be like more like, yes, you can go abroad, but it'll probably be very close to you. But I think that you guys have a great time. But you need to save that money up now. Lovely You says, should I get Shade 2010 or 2016? 2010. That's easy. That was a very easy thing. Yeah, 2010. Arena says, does Anya give me the evil eye or is it just in my head? Everything breaks after she sees it. Oh no. She's she's bad luck. Um no, I don't think that she gives you evil eye. However, I do feel like um you should possibly put like evil, like, the Turkish little evil eyes around things so they don't break in her presence. I think she's just clumsy. But no, no evil eye, no evil intent. I feel like she just has a very bad luck. You could gift her a very nice thing, like a nice thing of like Turkish evil eye. She'll like, oh yeah, I got you a gift. Thank you, Karen. I did see that donation. I did see it. John and I are not speaking now. We're not in contact now. How does he feel? Thoughts and feelings. He said he was at his son's house and replied, I'm fine, thrilled he wasn't there. Oh my lord. Yeah, he feels like you're very angry. He's scared. He's scared of you. Um he wants to play, but you don't want to play. Yeah, I feel like that anger just coming out right at me. Um yeah, he just doesn't understand what he's done wrong. um so yeah, a lot of people could be very oblivious to this, but yeah, he doesn't understand. So yeah, honestly, yeah, it's frustrating, but yeah, that's his thoughts, his feelings. He wishes that you would calm down so he can talk to you, because he's very confused right now. Okay, well, that's yeah. So like he's very confused. So Tua says, please can I know what did my ex feel about me? Miss me, love me, or I think that your ex misses you. You're very welcome, Karen. I wish that it could have been more direct. So your ex misses you, but he's not coming back to you. Like he feels like he's tried enough and he's not coming back, and there feels like manifestation of that he's not he's not manifesting you back in his life. So he misses you, but there's nothing else here. Deepa says, why is F and spouse separating? What is the reason? I think that everything's going well, except they're just not happy. Like, one of them focuses too much on the small things, the other one sees the bigger picture. Now, this is usually a masculine thing. It the masculine mind focuses on big things, and the small mind, like the small mind, like the feminine mind, focuses on detail usually. So that's the biggest thing, is like this is what's driving them apart, is they're just not happy with what the other person's doing. That's it. The rest of it's fine. But if they worked with each other, they would have a better understanding of that. Amor says, what karma awaits me and why? I feel like you feel like there's negative karma, but I don't think that there's negative karma here. The there's like a path here. So this feels more like your your calling than your karma. So, um your dharma. Let's say dharma. So there's kind of this feeling of like you have to give up and walk away from a lot of your stuff in your life to get what you want. But it feels like you're approaching this the wrong way. So it feels just that you have to shift a lot of things to get what you want in life, or where you need to go, your life path, your journey. In the world, it seems like this is going to be a completion. So there's kind of like this feeling of getting out of your comfort space and exploring where you want to go. So I don't feel like you're going to be comfortable. You're going to be like everything just seems to slot together quite nicely. There's going to be periods of stress, but I don't feel like this is karmic. I feel like this is just part of your life. Primitive Soul says, question one, will I be able to go to India in June, July? If no, what's the blockage? I think that you will be able to go in June. Possibly not July. I would honestly say to you, check your passport, make sure it's in dates. Um, the Magician. I feel like there's also kind of figuring out, you're very welcome. Figuring out like parts of this. How can I explain it? You could fly on certain days and make it a lot cheaper. So be a little bit more uh, specific about that. But yeah, keep work on like your passport and your vaccinations because that will be important. But the rest of it, I do feel like you're going to get back to India in June. Lana says, can I know if my boyfriend William saying this is saying the truth? Okay, you want to know if your boyfriend is saying the truth and whether he's twin flame. Okay, so it's hard because I don't think that he's lying to you. It's kind of like a feeling, Lana, that he tries to say things in a way that sometimes means that he can be left alone to work or, stuff like that. There is tension and friction in what he says. So I think that he is not always truthful. But I don't think that he's lying in a way that's meant to cause you harm or meant to hurt you. Even though sometimes I feel like it does. Is he a soulmate or twin flame? If he was healed, I feel like he's a soulmate. At the moment, I feel like he's more like a karmic connection, but it doesn't feel like you shouldn't stop loving him for that. I think if he does heal, he will become a soulmate instead of a twin flame for you. Hot Sun says, hi Cassandra, can I ask what Matt's current feelings and intentions are towards me? You're very welcome. So at the moment, this person's feeling very, very happy. Um, I've never seen as many shades of rainbow in my life. There's prosperity and abundance, a lot of good things coming in for this person. So I feel like they've got a lot of things in their life that they wanted with you. Prosperity, abundance, especially in the house. Lots of little things, lots of gifts coming in for them. And they're feeling that they've walked away from a lot of their life, so you came in at the perfect time. So that's important for them, you know. I feel like they're very happy in this relationship. I don't feel like they want another one. What's going on in the relationship of B doer and A can do? Are they going through separation? Nine of Pentacles. At the moment, I don't feel like they're going through a separation because the Lovers in reverse is a very strong card and everything seems to be so balanced. So I don't feel like they're going through a separation. There is this feeling that there's some things that are not. You're very welcome, Hot Sun. There's some things that they're not very happy about, but I think they're working on it. So I don't see a separation. Not right now. Dana says, why did M Cancer reach out and wanted to see me after a long period of no contact? I think he wants to try again because Ace of Cups is new love. So it feels like he's trying to approach this relationship again. And prosperity and abundance. So I feel like he wants to share some good news. And, but I do feel like he wants this connection again. Because, yeah, those two cards feel like, you know. Hi, if you're able, can I ask something? Of course, but you need to just put down your question. If it's your first question, put a question one. Kushi. Currently many things are going on. I want to know the truth. Does Manav have another girl in his life with what is he coming forward towards me? He said to my friends I would talk to her. I want to know. That's very confusing. Thank you for the donation. Okay. Does he have another girl? No, I think he's only got one. I don't think he's got two. I don't think he could handle two. So, no, he doesn't have another one. Thank you, Siren. When will my manifestation comes to true time frame? Okay. So I asked whether it was going to be this year, and the pendulum says perhaps. I asked next year, and the pendulum said yes. So let's ask like a likely timeline for it to come in this year. It's being very precise. It's like, okay, so it's like we're in April, May, June, July and a half. So it's like 4.5, like 4.5. So there you go. So that's the closest it will come in, but it will manifest by like next year. So it's like perhaps this year, but it depends on how like the manifestation goes, whether you keep on trying to manifest it or you get distracted. Angie's Fluid Art says, can you tell what year? Thank you so much for the donation, by the way. What year? Okay, so I asked it this year, it said no. I asked it next year, it said perhaps. And the third year, you're definitely in Australia. So, um, if it's not next year, it's the year after. It's very, you know, it depends on how focused you really want to be. So there's no girl, Kushi. Tina says Javid Cancer is my twin flame and we broke up and he was very introverted. Does he want to talk about his feelings and mood with the people around him now he's separated from me? No, he doesn't. Um, I think a lot of times he tends to be very introverted about feelings. He tends to be very extroverted about everything else, but a lot of times he doesn't he doesn't process emotions like you do. You're definitely Queen of Cups. I can definitely tell that. So, in general, your emotions are very strong. Other people are not that strong, you know? So, a lot of times he just doesn't tend to talk about his emotions all that much. The only person other than you that he would talk to about this would be Queen of Pentacles. I don't know. I feel like this is a friend or a cousin of his, a female cousin. But I don't feel like they're dating or. So he doesn't tend to really tap into it at all. Thank you so much for the donation, Geeta. Uh, Gemini A's feelings for me. I'm a Gemini also. So this person doesn't have imagination for you right now. And their heart is healing. So it feels like maybe you're trying to force this relationship, Geeta, a little bit too early, you know? So that's a big thing for him, is like you may be forcing this connection a little bit too early for him to deal with, you know? Sometimes Tina, but I don't think that he is really talking about his feelings. I feel like he's talking about situations and how he feels about them, not the feelings himself, like distance from what he's going through. So, Gita, there seems to be a Page of Pentacles. He doesn't really know how to go very well in a relationship. There seems to be that he doesn't have that much experience with, or they have a lot of experience with dating. So it's a little bit going to be a little bit of a fumble here. Um, I think this person likes you enough to really date you, but at the moment they don't know what they're doing. So it does feel very, you know, you don't know whether they like you or not just because you don't know. Dream stays. Does FA regret choosing MP over me? I was in a relationship with him, more fulfilling for him. Does he regret? I think sometimes he can regret that he has chose this person over you. Um, Mostly because I don't think that he wants to have a family with this person, but he might do in the future. So that's the big thing. Give me 1 second, guys. So at the moment he is not wanting a family with this person, and he's also feeling very moody about this relationship. So yes, he does think about like how better it was with you. However, I think that he's struggling and winning. So I think overall he's just trying to make this relationship work. So, yes, to your question. Love God says, please, will I achieve the required grade of IELTS exam in order to study abroad? Uh, the whole idea is that I feel if you get the resources, uh, if you get the resources to study, so I think that you need to work a lot on finding the resources for the exam. So there'll be a lot of people posting the questions and stuff like that. Save some money because you will be going overseas. And yes, you will pass, but I feel like you need to just seek out the resources, okay? To, work on that. H says, hello, may I ask what's next in love for you? Of course. Okay, so at the moment you feel like you haven't been dating in ages. It might just be like a lot of times you feel like things just aren't working out for you. A king of wands, the king of wands is coming in for you for sure. Now, this might be like this amazing guy that you feel like you can't date or get along with. And if you're thinking, if you're masculine, it might be that you're kind of waiting for something to happen when you should actually be more extroverted. But if you are female, it just means that this King of Wands is coming in for you. So extroverted, very playful, If you are King of Wands, you should be more extroverted and more playful in your life to attract someone in instead of the other way around. Okay? Hello, Gigi. How are you? Uh, Luna says, will Terry head towards me soon? Yes. Yes. Uh, He's a little bit scared of heading towards you, but I do feel like he's heading towards you very, very soon. Thank you, Amber, for the donation. Would Daniel do right by me if we were in a relationship? Would Daniel do right? I like, honestly, all these cards seem very positive. Thank you for the donation, by the way. So yeah, I think you guys would get married, or there's just a general, yeah. Like, honestly, I do feel like a lot of things are working on. This could be a very positive relationship if you let go of the past. So at the moment, I do feel like you're holding on to the past, Amber, and that's why you haven't let go and tried to have a relationship with this person. Um, yeah, so the cards say that there's a possible marriage or some very big celebrations. So I do feel like you get married. And the life will go very peaceful. Daniel only sees you. He doesn't see anybody else. There seems to be a very focused on you. There's a life choice to be made, so it might be that you might not want to settle down the same time as he does. So, that's a big thing. And the world. So there seems to be like, you might want to travel, he might want to stay at home. So Amber, you have to compromise on that. You might have to travel by yourself instead of taking him with you. So I hope that answered all your question. Was there any particular questions that you wanted to add to that? But I do feel like this person would do right by you. Hello, Sonia. Gita, thank you for the donation. Gemini, next actions towards you. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for the donation, Amber. Okay, so your Gemini's next actions. This is weird because you definitely both it's kind of funny because you both have very different faces. So with Geminis, they do switch. I have a friend that's Gemini, and depending on what you are as a Gemini, your faces are very different from each other. So we've got this dualistic personality. So at the moment, it feels like he doesn't want the playful thing. He doesn't want the friends. Um, he doesn't want that because he's done that before. So a lot of times he has been friend zoned after he's been in a relationship with people. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Um, but the thing is that he's trying to work and save to have a better future. So at the moment he's not really focusing on anything but a committed relationship. That's a hard thing. Thank you, B, for the donation. I appreciate that. Um but yeah, there seems to be this feeling of like wanting your attention, uh like you're very focused on him, and then he'll switch faces, and that's a big thing for both of you to realize that it's okay for you guys to, you know. But the thing is that you've got to lay down some ground rules. You actually need to be more specific about what you guys want, because that's very important for both of you. And figure out whether you can deal with how much energy is coming in for you, because you're both the same sign, and you're both coming up as queen swords once, sorry, not swords, once, so you have like a lot of energy, um but you both need to feel like you're both getting chased. So you both want that attraction, you want that fire. So honestly, if he's not showing you attention, then you should spend time with family and friends. Give like a little bit of space so he can, like, you know, instead of you showing all that attention. Yeah, he wants a serious relationship. I don't think that he wants anything but a serious relationship. Okay, Be Natural says, will Q leave me alone now since I communicated? It's time to let us go. It feels like he accepts this. I feel like he's still very emotionally attached to you, but it feels like he's kind of letting that go. And yes, I feel like in general, you've got what you wanted with SB. That he's like going to leave and you're going to be able to work on yourself, work on what you want to work on. Um, things are naturally going to come in for you because of like, but it doesn't feel like love is coming in for you very soon. B, it's more like everything else comes in for you instead of just like, I don't think you're ready for love, so you're not manifesting that in for you. So there you go. Any questions with that? Nisha says, should I be worried about Sagittarius cheating on me? Kushi, thank you so much for the donation. No, I don't think so. He's been cheated on before, Nisha, so I don't think that he would ever cheat on anybody else. I think he'll be fine. Be it into the initiative, he'll be fine. Um, but yeah, he doesn't like cheating. I think that he's a very big man of principles. So I think that for him to cheat would be, yeah, my phone's like, you should go to sleep now. No phone. Not yet. Um, so that's a big thing. Uh, Kishi says, whatever Maniv is going to say to me, is that going to hurt me? Yeah, I feel like he's a very big principled person. You don't like cheating either. I can understand that people cheat. Um, but I think that a lot of people can justify their actions very simply. Okay. So is the things that they are and they aren't. So I don't feel like a lot of this is going to hurt you. Some of it is going to hurt you, but not in the way that you expected it to be hurt. Um, no, I don't think the overall message is going to hurt. So overall, I would say no to this. There's going to be some things that you're not going to like, but I don't think any of this is going to hurt you. Gigi says, I didn't reply to any of his messages. What did he think about me? Does he see me as mature or good, or did he think I have a boyfriend or what? He is my ex. He's still not over you. He's still messaged you. He does feel like you're attached to someone. Mostly because you didn't respond. So he thinks that you're already taken. So that's a big thing. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for the donation. So yes. Yeah. I don't think that he's over you yet. Sarah says, what kind of connection with Jeffrey the DJ? Thank you so much, Katie. Like with me. I feel like a very honest one, a fair one, and one that's takes time. It's very slow. You both figure out who you guys are. It's a very mature relationship. There's a lot of like thinking and thought here. So I don't think that actually he seems quite intelligent. For a DJ, it feels very intelligent. Um he wants you to enjoy your life too. Thank you so much for the donations again, guys. Does my ex friends at B and K regret breaking off our friendship, or they're glad? I don't think they think about it very often, so I don't think that they're happy. They just don't think about it so much. So I don't feel like they're upset about it. I think that you guys were coming to an end anyway. That's the big thing that I would say for you, Katie. Um, so that's a big thing. One of them seems to be because they had a boyfriend. The other one seems to be because they were deceiving themselves or lying to themselves. So it could be that they were being very self destructive to themselves. So that's why they caught the connection. I think that you are very focused on not being a gossip, not, you know, not speaking bad about people, because you get your abundance, you get your happiness just being in your own space. And I think you're going somewhere. I don't feel like your friends were going somewhere. So, you're always very optimistic, and they don't seem to be very optimistic, Katie. Gita says, "What does Gemini A want a relation? Does Gemini A want a relationship with you?" I think so. Let me ask. Yes, I do think so. But we'll go through the rest of these. He's not going very well right now, mentally. And it feels like he's thinking too much into the future. And so therefore he's like letting the anxiety get to him. There's also a feeling that a lot of times in his relationships he hasn't focused on emotions of other people, and he's focused on him, like seeing the bigger picture, not realizing that a lot of times he's been listening to the words but not listening to the emotions. So that's a big thing for him. He doesn't want to care and look after you. This is because his heart is healing, and he's done this before where he's really got in a relationship and the person that he's been with has taken him for granted, you know? So that's important. You're very welcome, Katie. So he does want a relationship with you, but he doesn't feel ready to take that plunge yet. You're adorable. You're so cute. You might be shorter than him, but he likes that you're very cute. So I feel like this person wants a relationship with you, Gita. It's just like hard for him to do right now because he doesn't trust himself. I think the whole idea is not like, I think that it's good that you're a very independent woman. It does show like promise with this relationship. It's just sometimes when like a care and protection is not money. Sometimes it's just like if we love that person, it's just naturally there. And I do feel like that he's holding himself away from that. You know, Kushi, thank you for the donation. Thank you for the donations, guys. I appreciate that. Manav, Avash, next actions towards me. We aren't in a relationship, but it's one-sided love from your side. I think so. I think so. I would say yes to this, Kushi, because I feel like with this judgment upright, it feels that it's a fair enough judgment. Ace of Swords, it feels like you're a very blunt and honest person, and sometimes that can get in the way, you know? And Page of Cups, like you're coming to this self reflection phase of like, yes, like I am, you know, they are both married. Oh, are they? Oh, wow. Yeah, I feel like Katie, the one of them was going through like a very turbulent time in her marriage, and she didn't want you to know, or she let you know, and she's was feeling very, you know, his actions. Oh, okay. So Page of Swords in reverse is like being very sneaky, or, you know, being deceptive, or being deceiving. So I feel like this person's not really wanting like a next step or next phase in this, Kushi. So I feel like there might not be that many actions towards you. I hope that helped you. Mo, intentions of Habib towards Bushra. So honestly, if these both are like opposite genders, you're very welcome. Opposite genders, then I don't see this come up. So King of Pentacles is someone that's chasing money. King of Wands is a very optimistic person. So it could be that the masculine in this relationship's coming out of like a understanding, coming out of their own head. So I do feel like they've been working a lot and not thinking about relationships. Even though they would want a relationship, I think that they haven't really figured that relationship out. So I feel like there's not a lot of connection between you guys as much, you know? Laura says, will CM offer me the position I interviewed for? Yes. Yes, you will get offered. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of people that applied for that. So yes, you will get the interview that you applied for. Katie says, will Jordan and I be spiritually on the same page in the future? Oh, give me a second. do, 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 do. I think some things spiritually, he will never be on the same page. So you guys will have to compromise on some things. I think that you will get what you want in some ways. That doesn't mean that he's going to be happy about it. I think he's going to go chill. So I think honestly some things will be, yeah, like you both see eye to eye in some things. Wheel of Fortune, yeah, I think he's going to get a certain amount of spirituality, but I think that there's a difference between spirituality and religion. And it feels like there's some kind of parts of religion for you compared to him, and vice versa, I feel. Um, with the moon in reverse, I feel like he's got to make his own journey. He's not going to listen to other people, and he's scared of kind of trying to do that journey himself, you know? So that's important. So he's got to take that himself instead of being forced into a spiritual thing. So I think honestly he can be quite a spiritual person. He just needs time. We all need time to kind of figure out a connection to the divine or connection to, you know, things. Hello, Bill. How are you? So I hope that helped you, Katie. Yolandia says, what's coming towards me in the next 3 months? Honestly, but Yolandia, you need to save. You need to save. You're very welcome, Katie. Thank you for your donations today. You are ever so kind. So you need to save some money. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is usually a sign that you start your own business or you kind of create something. It might be a side business, a side hustle, something that grows some money for you. And at the end of 3 months, it seems like you get a lot of nice things on your plate, some good things on your plate, you know? So that's a big thing that I would say. A lot of good things coming in at the end of 3 months for you. Ari Girl says, what's coming towards me? So the Fool, go with the flow. I honestly think that there's nothing really coming towards you, more that you're how could I explain it? Going like a leaf or the breeze, going and finding your own direction. So the Fool is protected by the universe. The universe loves fools. In some ways, the Fool card is a protected card. It doesn't it doesn't get into trouble, you know? So you're going to have like a period of time where you don't have to stress and you don't have to worry as much. That doesn't mean that bad things don't, like, there might be some certain blips. So do realize that nothing is always, hunky dory, but it's all good. With this Full card, it seems like you're going to be going in this certain direction. Um, Wheel of Fortune, trust the universe that you're guided through thoughts and intuition. You know, you're going with the flow here. And Ace of Swords, there seems to be some kind of don't be so blunt. That's kind of like maybe talk nicely. Sometimes it could be that you're having a hard time being positive about life. Oh, thank you, Bill, for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, you sometimes have this hard time trusting the universe and sometimes saying something nice. And the universe is like, don't worry, go with the flow, trust your gut, and be positive. I feel that's a big thing. Bell, just a general. You gotta get a general with whipped cream and cherry on top. I haven't done a general like 8 card reading on YouTube before. I'm usually doing it on eBay or Ko-fi or Okay. So your general for yourself, Belle. So I think a lot of times you're in a space right now, Belle, that you should trust the universe, that you're guided in a specific manner. Um, this might mean that some people are upset or angry with you, but it's okay. You should just go the way that you feel called to, you know? So that's an important thing for you. Um, the other thing that I would definitely say to you is uh at the moment you're still holding on to a situation from the past that you have to let go of. Why you need to let go of this is because you are focusing on the small things in your life instead of focusing on the bigger picture. So you're very, how can I explain this? When we get hurt, you know, when we got burnt, we kind of look around to see like what happens in life and go, yeah, we're not going to get burnt again. But while we're looking around going, we're not going to get burnt again, then other things happen because we haven't seen the bigger picture. There seems to be this feeling that you should focus on the happiness that's coming into your life. So there's a lot of good things coming in for you. Uh some of these things will be like illusionary, so do realize that some things that are coming in for you that might be choices are kind of illusionary. So take your time to kind of sort through those. um Belle, if you don't have anybody in your life right now, there's someone coming in for you, but this could be also a close friend. This person really cares about you a lot and wants to protect you from life and wants you to stop making the same mistakes as they did. So this could be someone that really cares for you, but maybe not a romantic sense. You're so cute, like jumping up and down in your bowl of chow, and they're like, oh my god. I have to look after you, but you're still jumping up and down in your bowl of chow. Page of Pentacles. Honestly, I feel like your finances give you stress and give you worry. And a lot of times, you know, uh, it's because the way that you're emotionally associating yourself with money. So every time you're down, you know, uh you buy things, but then you beat yourself up for buying things when you're in a sad mood. So therefore you get sad and you buy things again. So you have to you have to work on that. Either remove your credit card from like buying things so you're not like going to your favorite store and buying things when you're sad, or, or work on your sadness, or hide your money when you're sad. So something to do with this, like figure out how to kind of separate the sadness and buying things, because that's a big thing that you need to work on. Maybe hide some money from yourself. There you go. Thank you, Bill, for the donation. uh Nubasita says, I would like to know if I will move to another city or country. Question 2, if you can tell me when. You're very welcome. So yes, you are going to another country. The weirdest thing is I feel like I'm supposed to say Italy. Belle made me sad. Oh no, why did Belle make you sad? Aw, hug. uh, the sun, yeah, I feel like some Italy, because, like, I'm feeling, like, vines and, wine, and this might be Greece, but I'm feeling Italy. And you'll probably type in the thing, I'm from Italy. Oh. But yeah, it feels like you will get, you know, the sun. So it feels like it's going to be next year that you move, but it's how can I explain it? It's a process. It's not going to happen by itself. So if you really want this, you might have to kind of look yeah, I wish you the best too, Bill. Um but yeah, it's just like one of those things that focus on you need to just focus on the next thing. So in Italy, which is a weird thing to say, like you can buy a house for a euro, but you have to do it up. You have to spend about 10 10,000 euros doing it up, but you get a house for a euro. And I don't know why I'm told to tell you that, but I feel like this is important for you. Mara Jane Alvarez, salsa, bachata, and kizumba. I've done salsa, I've done bachata, and I haven't done kizumba. Thank you for the donation, Gita. JM's thoughts, feelings towards me, please. Okay, so honestly, this person feels like you're very focused on them. You a lot of passion, a lot of like, yeah, honestly, very fiery. Wheel of Fortune, they're trusting the universe that they're going with the flow, seeing how it goes. Um, wise. I feel like they're very distant from their emotions right now, so they kind of feel like, you know, um, very disconnected from how they feel. So a lot of times I feel, and I don't diagnose anybody, do realize this, but they could be slightly more asexual. Because it doesn't feel like they appreciate um your passion, how you look, how you present yourself. That you're very attractive, but there's kind of like this feeling of this disconnect from themselves. So that's a hard thing to say because I do find that they're attracted to you, but not in the way that you probably feel like they're attracted to you. So I hope that helps you. Enjoy. Queen, welcome in. How are you? Gita says, is Gemini talking to any other girls? I think one. I think it's that ex. But they're not talking to any. You're very welcome, Mara. They're not talking to anybody else other than that. But they don't want to let you know because they feel like you're going to be upset. But I don't feel like this is a big thing. You know, they're not they're not really wanting to go back. Faranak says, why has not Johnny separated yet, even though he's not happy in his current relationship? I think he's still trying to prove that he can make it work. There's a lot of times like that, Faranak, that happens. Thank you so much for the donation yet again, Katie. So, a lot of times we try to be, you know, he also realizes that sometimes it's his fault for arguments. So sometimes I think he overdoes this feeling of like it's my fault. Yeah, we'll be closing lists soon. I'll be working my way up, trying to like finish this. So I don't think that he's going to try to separate and go. At the moment, I feel like he's still clinging on to the hope that everything's going to be okay. That's interesting. Karen, I'll try as much as possible to do your questions tonight. Karen, no, Katie, sorry, Katie. I was looking at Katie's question and said Karen again. Definitely tired. Karen says, can you please tell if Jordan and I will stay together past this year? I think that it's hard because I do feel like you guys do come together again, but I will go through everything. So I feel like this year, like Jordan is working very hard on trying to figure out what he wants, what he needs as a person. Um, one thing that he is very aware of is like kids. Does he want kids of his own biologically, or does he not care and he still wants kids? Because this is the biggest thing, is he wants kids, but he doesn't know whether he wants a biological kid, because that's the biggest thing that's holding him back from that relationship with you, Katie. um I think that he won't care what other people think. So I do feel like he enters this relationship with you again because he realizes that it's not as important for him anymore to do that. So I feel like that's a big thing for him, is just like, oh yeah, I don't care. Um I think prosperity, abundance coming in for him, and the ability to say no to others. So if people are sitting there going, you have to do this to be happy, he'll be like, no, I know that I can be happy, you know? So that's the biggest thing that I would say to you that I'm getting from him. So any questions with that, Katie? I think that's all that I covered. So yeah, I feel like he's going to keep on going, but he's got to figure out whether he wants this. There's kind of this feeling whether he wants a biological child. But yeah, I honestly feel like you guys are going to be for together for a very very long time. Will you meet Gemini A again? Yes, you will meet Gemini A again. It feels like this is going to be interesting because you're going to meet Gemini really when he doesn't want to be found by you. But I don't feel like this is because he's around another woman. I feel like he's gone out drinking, or, he's in a process of doing something that he doesn't want you to see. But it's not in a bad way, it's just like, you know. So yes, I do feel like you meet Gemini A again. So yes, that is a thing. You're very welcome. So I am going to go. How much time do we have? I'm gonna move this up so everybody can get their like thing. So we've got like 50 minutes. uh, So have you already met your soulmate, Belle? Then you're gone. You're going to eat. I understand that. What you gonna eat? Okay. Have you met your soulmate? It's weird because I feel like you haven't met them yet. Yeah, they haven't been in your world yet. It's kind of like this feeling that you only have a certain set group of people that you hang around with, or you go from work or study or school to going home. So there's kind of like this feeling that you don't have a big place to meet this soulmate. You're not manifesting this person. You're not listening to other people as well. So it kind of feels like they're telling you like hints where to go. You might feel like they're very preachy, like, come out. Just like see if you meet someone. And you're like, no, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. But I feel like this person's closer than you think they are. Probably in a surprising location. Like, honestly, this person might like crafting or something and goes to craft fairs. So you might meet this person and you're like, oh my god, a very unusual hobby you have. Well, maybe not unusual, but it feels very different. The Emperor, and yeah, so it feels like this person's given up. They might have been an athlete at some time, or they were doing something very sports like, which is weird because I normally don't get that from the Emperor. It just feels like they had to retire. So they've worked very hard to like get a physique, and then they didn't get very far. Like there was like an injury that they can't go back to play on. Um, and now they've had to choose a different path or a different direction. So it might be that they do some bouncing or something. So that may be why like you have to go out to meet them instead of like staying at home. Because yeah, I hope that helps. Schrodinger's dog. There's a Schrodinger's dog. No, don't put the cat with the dog. Thank you for the donation, Gita. Yeah, you moved around. Fair enough. Uh, I hope that helped. I'm gonna try and see like how many people I can answer, but it's very close. We've got about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna do Gita's, and then we're gonna try and do as many people as possible. I'm sorry tonight is a little bit later than normal. Um so what will happen between Gemini and AM and me in the next 6 months? So Knight of Wands. So there feels like this person comes into your life very fast, very quickly. The world, I think you guys open up to the possibility of you guys dating. So there's like a talk of like how you're going to do it, and you guys decide to date. Um, I think that you both realize that you're really good at you know juggling your life, and some people will say you're very different, you know, Gita. So you're very different from each other. There is this feeling of like him having a life choice to make, and him choosing whether to make it. So it kind of feels like, you know how I said like he doesn't want to look after you, like care and protect you. It's like this feeling of like, do I open up? Do I become a better person? Do I become this um like traditional male? Sometimes this is kind of weird because I always think of King of Swords being the very traditional man, like the protector, the nurturer kind of role. Now, don't get me wrong, they're all amazing. Every single masculine card is amazing, but they all have their different roles or their different ways that they want to be perceived. And King of Swords is definitely the card of, I want to look after you. You know, I want to be the strong leader type person. You know, the one that would be, you know, the nurturer. Um, but the thing is that, yeah, with this caring and protecting card, it's still in reverse. So he does kind of figure, like, wants to actually question this. So I do feel like he will start realizing that he really wants this connection. So it's just like that choice of letting someone in, like believing you're the right person. Because a lot of times when we go through this feeling of like someone's taken advantage of us before, we don't want to be taken advantage of again, you know, then, you know, that's a bad thing. So I hope that helped you, Gita. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you, everybody, for your donations. I'm going to try and get as many question ones done, but it might be like sorry guys if I don't get to your questions. So Twisted says general reading. You're very welcome for this month. Ooh, you have to let go of something that happened in the past. This could have been last month that you need to get rid of. So there's like this cycle that keeps on perpetrating for you that you need to let go of. You are very obsessed with like kind of walking away from things and not kind of continuing with them. So I feel like you give up quite easily sometimes and you need to be a little bit more persistent. The High Priestess in reverse, you're not manifesting. So it could be that you're actually really pushing yourself in a way that you work hard, but you're not allowing things to come to you. You're not letting these things open up and come to you. Um, Here's the next question, Alex. Uh, what's to come from love for me and you're very welcome. So there seems to be some struggling and winning. I like honestly, it feels like you have to deal with family, they have to deal with themselves. So there feels like this feeling of like you both need to work on your own things and that you both will succeed. But at the end of the day, there's going to be a little bit of distance between you guys that you need to then work on bringing yourselves back together, okay? Okay. What is the biggest problem in his relationship now? Emotional or financial, what is it? Please explain. He's still holding on to the past. This is a big thing with most people. They hold on to the past, they don't let go of the past, and that's holding him back. There's also a choice of like whether he wants to stay or walk away. So a lot of times when we aren't we're on the fence about things, we don't let them go, because we don't want to make someone upset and we don't want to hurt people. And I think that he's in this flux of like, I don't know what to do because I don't want to be the same as the past and I don't want the same as the future. Okay. Um, Zarin, what is the problems of A facing? Do we have? We have Queen. Queen, are you still here? What is he facing? There feels like this tremendous sadness or this tremendous like pressure of, how can I explain it? Mentally he's struggling, so in the emotional state he's also struggling, but he doesn't know how to deal with that in a constructive manner. There's no way of like coping with both of these. How can I explain it? Like sometimes we feel very caught up in our own lives and our own problems, that sometimes we don't find a constructive way to deal with that. So sometimes like people will punch pillows or go to the gym or make a painting, when you're feeling upset, when you're feeling stressed and you're like, maybe go paint or punch a, not obviously a person, but Jem, we're finished for tonight. I'm so sorry. List is closed, but it's really nice to see you. And yeah, he's focusing too much on the future when he should focus on the present. Allow this like tornado storm to be closed, you know. I think we're finished then. It's good to see you, Jem. I should be back tomorrow. I always say I should be back tomorrow, and then sometimes I don't. But let's say I promise to be back tomorrow. I'm not doing anything, so I should be back. I should be back earlier. We'll see if I could be back earlier. Karen, what's your 2 questions before I finish up tonight? Because you've been very patient. So I will be back tomorrow. I'm hoping, let's say 7 p.m. my time. And may I ask question 1, general about getting advocate? I think a lot of times Karen, it feels like you get people advocates that aren't for you. So the temptation is to feel heartbroken about that. I feel like you shouldn't be anxious about the future because, um there's something good coming to you. So I do feel like the advocate is going to come to you that's going to be good for you. But yeah, I feel like don't focus on the past, you know. Don't focus on the past, just focus on the present and focus on the future because it seems like, you know. Oh no. Yeah, so it seems like you'll be fine. Everything will work out okay. Because Page of Swords, everything else feels like, you know, it's only a thing, you know, only a lapse. Everything's going to work out. I'm sorry to hear that. Karen, what's your other question? Just because we are finishing up tonight. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you everybody who donated. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Yes. That one in the same. Do you see John regretful and making amends? I think that he will try, but you have to listen to him. So you can't get angry with him. Because if you get angry with him, he loses it. There's something about anger that's not great. He doesn't cope very well with anger. So do realize that you need to listen to the whole like explanation, you know. But it's because there's a lot of stuff in the past that he hasn't told you about, and that's possibly why he is taking things as much as he is, you know. Yeah, it's yeah. I think a lot of times this is defense mechanism, Karen. So a lot of times he's thought that it's going to keep him safe. A lot of times we aren't like we go with whatever reaction helps us, and most of the time this is not good for us, you know. I have like a sister that's very, you know, always angry all the time. And I sit there and go, okay, like, have you worked on your stress levels? Have you figured this out? You know, I care deeply and I don't know where I stand. Then maybe you don't want this person to come back, you know? Like, you care deeply, but sometimes if there's a problem, he needs to address it himself. Like, you can't fix someone. I know you know that, but I think unless people really focus on what what they need to do, sometimes it's a very hard thing for people to understand that they are their own problem, you know. I had a friend, and I think honestly this is the first year that I've really seen her change and grow, and she's like amazing now, and I'm like, "Oh my god," you know. But it's taken her like 10 years. 10 years of her life. And I hope that she never gets in the same place again, cuz you know, that's the big thing, you know. Anyway, I'm going to love you guys. I'm going to leave you guys. Have a great night. And I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully earlier this time. Take care. Bye, guys.